let's chat about one of the strangest royal baby reveals ever, the birth of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. So, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry could have done things the usual way, like other royals. You know, smile for pictures, show off the baby outside the hospital, and let everyone cheer. But nope, they did something totally different, and it left people with way more questions than answers. That's when the drama kicked off. Okay, so when Meghan got pregnant, people were super curious and excited. It was supposed to be a happy time, but from the start, how Meghan and Harry handled it was kind of confusing, maybe even a bit sneaky. Normally, royals have a clear plan. They tell everyone when the mom starts having the baby, then share a birth notice right after the baby's born, and then do a big photo moment outside the hospital. Like, Kate Middleton always looks perfect, stepping out of the Lindo wing like she's ready for a fashion show right after having a baby. But with Archie, Meghan and Harry skipped all that. They didn't tell anyone when Meghan started labor, and they waited over 8 hours to say Archie was born. Even weirder, they sent a message after he was born saying Meghan was still in labor. Which wasn't true. He was already here. Why say that? That's when people started getting suspicious. Was this just a mistake? Or were they keeping a big secret? I gotta say, I saw those Getty images where it looked like a pillow fell from Meghan's skirt, and I thought, is that edited? But Getty's super trustworthy. So rumors started, especially one saying Meghan might not have given birth herself and maybe used a surrogate. Is there proof? Nope. But when things seem off and the press gets weird info, people make up their own stories. The confusion didn't stop there. Meghan and Harry waited to show Archie to the world. Instead of a hospital photo like most royals, they waited 2 days and did a super planned photo shoot inside Windsor Castle. Only one reporter was allowed, and it was all tightly controlled. No fun crowd, no happy vibes, just a stiff setup. Sure, maybe they wanted privacy, but all the secrecy felt weird to lots of people, especially when you compare it to William and Kate, who always share everything clearly. Announcements on time, public photos, totally open. The difference made Meghan and Harry's way seem like they were planning something sneaky. Privacy's cool, but lying to people? That's next level, and folks felt tricked. Why mess around during such a happy moment? Once trust was broken, every little thing seemed fishy, like the birth certificate. When Archie's finally came out, it didn't have the doctor's signatures you'd normally see on royal ones. And then, weirdly, a few weeks later, Meghan's full name was taken off and replaced with just her title. That made people raise their eyebrows. Was it a power move? A big ego or something else? Whatever it was, it didn't make them look good. Every step they took seemed to make things messier. They could have done it their way without confusing everyone, but instead, they made a story no one could figure out, opening the door to all kinds of wild guesses. What made it all worse wasn't just the secrecy. It was how they dealt with the mess afterward. When people asked questions, instead of being clear or calming things down, they made it more confusing. They never explained the weird press statements or why they waited so long to share news. Instead, they just kept saying privacy, like that fixed everything. But that just made people more curious. Then, in their Oprah interview, Meghan didn't say there was a conspiracy, but she hinted at something shady going on in the palace, especially about Archie not getting a title. She suggested it was because of his race, which was a huge deal and got tons of attention. But here's the thing. Royal rules say only the monarch's grandkids get prince or princess titles automatically, unless the Queen, or now King Charles, makes an exception. Archie was a great-grandkid, so he wasn't supposed to get a title yet. Still, her word stuck, and people thought Archie was left out because of race, not rules. Meghan and Harry didn't fix that story. They let it grow, knowing it would stir up drama. They made it seem like they were victims of a mean old system. That might have worked better if they hadn't already messed up so much. Another weird thing was the birth certificate. It came out late, and when it did, there were no doctor signatures. That's a big deal because every royal baby's certificate before Archie's had them, it's like an official stamp to prove everything's real. Without it, and with all the rumors, people got more suspicious. Then, 11 days after Archie's birth, the certificate was changed quietly. Meghan's full name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was taken off, and it just said, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Harry's name also got a tweak, adding Prince before it. People were like, wow, why change something so simple later? Some thought it was to follow tradition, others saw it as a power move, and some believed it was to control how they looked to the world. It didn't help that no one could agree on what time Archie was born. Some said 2:26 a.m., others said 5:26 a.m. You'd think a royal baby's birth time would be easy to pin down, but even that was mixed up. With all the back and forth statements and wonky timelines, it felt like a big, messy show instead of a happy moment. By the time they showed Archie at Windsor Castle, it was too late. The photo shoot was so stiff, so controlled, with just one reporter there. It didn't have the fun, happy vibe people expect from a royal baby reveal. It felt like they were trying to fix a mess, not share joy. That's when people started turning away. The complaints weren't just about the birth announcement or the odd certificate stuff. It got bigger as Meghan and Harry's actions kept adding drama. They could have cleared things up or moved on, but instead, they kept bringing it up, making new claims, and causing more doubt. In Rohan, their Netflix show, they talked about the same stuff. The media being nosy, the supposed racism, Archie not being protected. But it always had this vibe like they were wronged. Every time they told the story, more gaps and mix-ups popped up, making them look unreliable instead of gaining support. One weird thing was how Meghan talked about the hospital photo tradition. She said in interviews that no one asked if she wanted to do it, like the palace ignored her. But some say that's not true. She didn't want the photo and made that clear. No one was forcing her to stand outside with a newborn right after giving birth. The palace was waiting for her to decide. So saying she was mistreated raised some eyebrows. Then there's the title issue. Meghan hinted that Archie not getting a prince title was personal, maybe about race or status. But the rules said he wouldn't get one until Charles was king. It was normal, not targeted. William's kids got titles early because the Queen made an exception. Meghan and Harry could have asked for one, but instead, they used it to say they were being pushed aside. When people saw through that, it hurt their trust even more. What could have been a simple choice to do things their way turned into a bunch of moves that kept stirring up trouble. Every mix-up, every name change, every late announcement, every vague comment piled up, until it was a big mess they made themselves. And those surrogate rumors? They never really went away. The 8-hour delay, the weird press statements, no doctor signatures, and the super controlled appearances made it seem like they were hiding something even if they weren't. Meghan could have stopped those rumors with a little honesty, but she stayed quiet or brushed it off, letting the mystery grow. People took that silence as a sign something was up. The sad part? All this could have been avoided if they'd just been honest from the start, whatever the truth was. People might have respected their choices. They didn't have to follow every royal rule, they just needed to be straight with everyone. But by playing games with the press, spinning stories, and changing details to fit their image, Meghan and Harry turned a happy moment into a huge PR disaster. Now, no matter how much time passes, Archie's birth will always have this weird cloud over it, and people will always wonder what really went down behind those palace walls that morning.